Hello and welcome to this edition of Central Point. This one's on monopoly, or what some textbooks refer to as pure monopoly. So let's set the stage here. We have a downward sloping demand curve for this monopolist. That's different than perfect competition because these firms are price makers. They get to pick their price. Keep in mind that does not mean you get to choose whatever price you want. If you choose a price that's too high, the consumer could just do without. So you get this downward sloped demand curve and then a more steeply sloped marginal revenue curve that's underneath the demand curve. In perfect competition, these are the same lines. In monopoly, I like to say that the marginal revenue curve comes out from behind the demand curve, or it peaks out from behind the demand curve. It's more steeply sloped. Then you get a marginal cost curve. Every firm, including monopolists, use this rule MR equals MC. So this firm's going to then say, if the first unit brings in marginal revenue of $350 but cost me a marginal cost of $50, I'm going to make that unit. If the second unit brings in or has a marginal revenue of around $270 but only cost me around $40, I'm going to make that unit. Again, the third unit, MR is above MC, so I'm going to make that unit, and we keep moving forward until we find that fourth unit, which is where MR equals MC. They're going to stop there. There's no way they're making this fifth unit because costs are way up here and that unit only brings in this much revenue. So they stop at 4. MR equals MC at 4. And for the first question on a test that asks how many units would this firm produce, the right answer is going to be 4. That's the profit maximizing rate of output. Here's where we see a big difference for monopolists. When asked what the price is, they're not given the price by the market. They get to pick the price. Remember that monopolists are the market. They could charge a price right here at $120, and I see that mistake a lot on tests. But they could charge higher if they want to. In fact, they could go all the way up to the demand curve, and that's what they would do. They would charge $240. Would they like to charge something even higher? Sure, but they can't because there's no demand for that good up here. This is the highest point that the market will bear, a price of $240. Remember, our monopolists are brutal. They're going to charge the highest price that people are willing to pay. In this case, it's $240. So first question, how many units do you make? That's 4. Second question, what price do you charge? That's $240. Third question, how much money are you going to make? For that, we need the average total cost curve. So let's add that here. Find that dotted line that you drew right through where MR equals MC, and then see where that line cuts the average total cost curve, and that's going to be right there. And then we learn if you produce 4 units and you're this monopolist, those units cost you on average $90, but you get to sell them for $240. So the difference there is $150. You earn $150 profit on each unit, and you get to do that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So then this becomes the area of your profit, and that area actually is $150 tall. That's that yellow box times 4 units wide for an economic profit of $600. So that's the visual approach to monopoly. Here's the graphical approach to monopoly. All we need from these columns is marginal cost and marginal revenue to determine the profit maximizing rate of output. So for the first unit, it brings in $360 in revenue and it increases cost by 50. Of course you're going to make that unit. The next one brings in $280 and it increases cost by 30. Of course you're going to make that unit. The next one brings in $200 in revenue and increases cost by only $60. You're going to make that unit. And then you get to this one. $120 equals $120. MR equals MC. You're going to stop there and produce 4 units. You'd never make that 5th unit. It increases revenue by $40, yet it costs you $260 to make that unit. You lose money on that unit, so you wouldn't do that one. You'd stop at 4. So this column becomes the column of interest. That's your profit maximizing rate of output. So then the 3 questions. How many units are you going to make? That's going to be 4 units. What price are you going to charge? That's going to be $240. That's the highest price the market will bear. And then if you do that, you bring in a total revenue of $960, right? 4 times 240, and your total costs are $360, so your profit is $600. And that's the profit maximizing rate of output. That's the highest profit you can earn. One last point, you'll note that the producing 3 units also generates $600 in profit. If a student were to say to me, hey, I'm only going to produce 3 units because I still maximize profit and I don't have to work as hard, generally I think that that's pretty logical. But keep in mind that our rule here is MR equals MC, and that happens on the 4th row here. 120 equals 120. So if you're going to obey the theory, find MR equals MC. That's $120, and then you're going to produce 4 units. If in my class you told me 3 units, I wouldn't count that wrong, but some other people might. So to be safe, find MR equals MC and choose 4 units.